Here's an article along the same vein that says fat builds up in the hearts even before you become diabetic. So if you become diabetic, fat was already building up in the heart, in the blood vessels of the heart, years before you actually became diabetic. Well, if diabetes runs in the family, and I don't mean this critically or negatively, you can view yourself more or less as a diabetic. If your good cholesterol is low, you should sort of view yourself as a type of diabetic. If your triglycerides are high, you should sort of view yourself as a type of diabetic. But even at that, diabetes is generally at over 90% related to percent body fat. Now, I have an article in here about A1C. A1C is a measure, it's a blood test, that tells you how much of the time your sugar was at a certain level. And an A1C of less than 5.5 is pretty safe for an adult. An adult 35, 40, 45, 50. But I must say this, I don't like to see an A1C as high as 5.5 in somebody in their 20s or their early 30s. As a matter of fact, what I say is an A1C of 5.5, get that number 5.5, is good for someone at 55. So above that, you want to, like the low good cholesterol, the low HDL, like the high triglycerides, you want to start to view yourself as essentially a diabetic, which means you're moving yourself towards all the problems with regard to blindness, with regard to open heart surgery, heart attack, angioplasty, stroke, dialysis, et cetera, et cetera. The higher that sugar, the higher that A1C, think of sugar in the blood as heat. And you're overheating your tissues and burning them out. Our tissues are just like our lungs and heart. It's supposed to have a certain amount of heat in there. And when that sugar is higher, you're actually starting to cook those tissues and move yourself in the direction of heart failure, dialysis, blindness, and so on. And I don't mean to be a downer or negative. This is optimistic. Forewarned is forearmed. You can learn what I say. You can begin to do it on your own. And as I've said many times, we have a website. Go to our website, www.thepmc, the Preventive Medicine Center. Or go to Google and just put in Preventive Medicine Center, or go to Google and put in H. Robert Silverstein, MD, and you will work your way through and find our website with all this health education information on it, with recipes on it. I even think there are some diets for the purpose of weight loss, but that's just for your education. If you do have questions, like I say, give me a call.